Today we're taking a look at chapter 22 of Proverbs. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. A favor is better than silver or gold. The rich and the poor have this in common. The Lord is the maker of them. The clever see danger and hide, but the simple go on and suffer for it. The reward for humility and fear of the Lord is riches and honor and life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. The cautious will keep far from them. Train children in the right way, and when old they will not stray. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is the slave of the lender. Whoever sows injustice will reap calamity, and the rod of anger will fail. Those who are generous are blessed, for they share their bread with the poor. Drive out a scoffer, and strife goes out. Quarreling and abuse will cease. Those who love a pure heart and are gracious in speech will have the king as a friend. The eyes of the Lord keep watch over knowledge, but he overthrows the words of the faithless. The lazy person says, "There is a lion outside. I shall be killed in the streets." The mouth of a loose woman is a deep pit. He whom the Lord is angry falls into it. Folly is bound up in the heart of a boy, but the rod of discipline drives it far away. Oppressing the poor in order to enrich oneself, and giving to the rich will lead only to loss. The words of the wise. Incline your ear and hear my words, and apply your mind to my teaching, for it will be pleasant if you keep them within you, if all of them are ready on your lips, so that your trust may be in the Lord. I have made them known to you today, yes, to you. Have I not written for you 30 sayings of abomination and knowledge, to show you what is right and true, so that you may give a true answer to those who sent you? Do not rob the poor because they are poor, or crush the afflicted at the gate. For the Lord pleads their cause and despoils of life those who despoil them. Make no friends with those given to anger, and do not associate with hotheads, or you may learn their ways and entangle yourself in a snare. Do not be one of those who give pledges, who become surety for debts. If you have nothing with which to pay, why should your bed be taken from under you? Do not remove the ancient landmark that your ancestors set up. Do you see those who are skillful in their work? They will serve kings. They will not serve common people. And so today I wanted to take a look at verses 10 and 11. The reason behind this is we often come across this word scoffer, and I was like, I'm not really sure what scoffer means. What is a scoffer? And so I decided this is a great place to look, because if you don't know a word or a phrase of something, that's always a good starting point. So today we're going to take a look at verses 10 and 11. And so a scoffer, as I did a little bit of digging, a scoffer is someone who mocks or makes fun of someone or something, often for their religious or moral values or what they do for work. This is a person who is often unpleasant, will often pick fights just to pick them. They may also be mean and speak poorly of others and call them names or call them out, not worried about what their surroundings are. And make false claims about people and things and events, and try to get other people riled up for their cause, even though it may be wrong or not totally true. After looking at this, I think we all know somebody like that in our lives, anywhere in our lives, whether it be political, or it be in our families, or it be anywhere in our community. I think we all can find somebody like that. But what does verse 10 say? Verse 10 says, "Drive out the scoffer, and strife goes out. Quarreling and abuse will cease." So think about that. Driving out negativity, and negativity will end. Seems like common sense. But history shows us that there are certain times in our historical timeline that produce more scoffers or contentious people than other times. So when the world is seemingly at a low point, or a nation or a community is seemingly at a low point, that's when in history we tend to produce more people that are contentious or scoffers or like in verse 24, calls them hotheads, people that are easily angered or easily upset and will cause strife and quarrel. And those times, as we look throughout history, are times when we are at war. Think of Vietnam. Whether it was right or wrong, we still had a lot of people that got angry. World War II, World War I, maybe even in Korea, when we were in depression, when we had times of depression in the United States or in the world, or even in times of pandemic, especially. So even now would be a low point when we would historically produce scoffers and people that would be considered hotheads, or people that mock or ridicule or go after other people and create false claims. They like to create negativity instead of bringing unity, bringing people together for the common good. And then we turn to verse 11. Those who love a pure heart and are gracious in speech will have the king as a friend. These two verses together are about the power of the tongue. We have the scoffer, the hothead, the contentious person that is sowing negativity, that is always ready to accuse and abuse, or we have those with a pure heart that are gracious and thoughtful and loving and kind and show God's grace and mercy to their friends and to the world. And it speaks again of that idea of the power of the tongue, and that if we can make room for Christ in our hearts, and if we can put our trust in God, if we can learn this wisdom that we have in Proverbs, or like we heard Pastor Catherine say yesterday, as they were walking around the walls of Jericho, if we can trust God, even though it seems strange, we can find that purity of heart and have that gracious speech and that love, and then get the king's attention, or get God's attention, and God will be on our side. And so that's what we're reminded of today in these two verses, and really this whole chapter. We have that option. We can be negativity or be around negativity and have quarreling and strife and anger and contentious people everywhere. Or we can be that person that has the pure heart, that tries to show love and mercy and graciousness, because we are human and we are always going to fall short of the glory of God. That's a given. But God redeems us. Thanks be to God because of this cross. Because of his resurrection, we are made new each and every day, and our sins are forgiven. And so thanks be to God for that we may fall into negativity and quarrel and strife one day, but we have a new opportunity each and every day to make that right and to follow into that way of purity. And so we have two questions today. The first one, where are there areas of negativity in our lives? Where can you find them in your lives? Can you think of people? Can you think of other places? I can think of social media. You click on that Facebook link or Instagram or Twitter or whatever it may be, and you can find negativity almost like that. And so where are those areas of negativity in your life? Where do you find them creeping in and trying to lure you into their way? And two, how can we overcome that obstacle of negativity? Because negativity is so like a potato chip. You can never just have one, right? You always have to keep going back for more because it draws you in and gets such a powerful hold. That devil is really tricky. So how can we overcome that obstacle of negativity? And how can we have God help us to overcome that obstacle and make that difficult decision to not go back in for that tasty potato chip? How can we have God on our side and use God as a tool in our pocket to overcome that obstacle of negativity? We'll see you again tomorrow as we take a look at the next chapter, chapter 23. Have a great day. Bye-bye.